Okay, here we go. We're back on. We're going to do questions 19 to 24.
Hi.
Okay, so hi. Oh, yeah. Hi, first period. Okay. So let's look at it. Here it says in right triangle ABC. So I'm going to draw my triangle a little bit differently. I'm going to make this the right angle. And because it says altitude CD, I know that C's got to be my right angle.
Who is that?
Okay. So this is kind of how you want to draw the picture. It's whenever you see the word altitude, it's way easier to draw the triangle with its hypotenuse side down. That's like the definitely easier way to do it.
There's the triangle. There's like 3 triangles.
Okay, there's a lot. So what we're going to do is basically, and we've kind of talked about this before, these two questions relate to similarity. So we're going to end up setting up proportions. And so it says that CD is drawn. So because it says CD is drawn, this right here, it says if CD is 10 and AD is 4, what is this value?
What is what?
BD.
Isn't it?
So for because we have an angle, the right angle, and we have the side, basically all we're going to be doing is we're looking at 2 triangles. We're going to end up having this triangle right here, and then this triangle right here be similar to each other. And so what that means is we're going to have one leg here, X. How did I write it? No, I put 4 first. So, well, it doesn't really matter. So we're going to do X over 10. So this side over this side equals 10 over 4. Now, this is very, very important. Listen up. Whatever side is the reflexive side, you will always use that number 2 times. One time it will be on the bottom, sugar shoots, and one time it will be on the top. So whenever you have the reflexive side, it will always be on the bottom of one fraction and the top of the other. Now, in this case, we got the number for CD. They told us 10. So that's why. So anytime you have an altitude drawn, okay, the bottom line is that altitude is always going to be the bottom and the top. In this case, they gave us the measure 10. That's why it's 10 and 10. So once you have it set up, the other 2 sides just go, one goes on top, one goes on the bottom. It really doesn't matter where you put it. Okay, so when we go back and forth, we've got 4x for our multiplication equals 100, divide both sides by 4, and that gives us 25. The reason is because it's hard to tell with this picture because it was just a sketch. But the reason is you're creating similar triangles. And we know that with similar triangles, the sides are proportional. So basically, we're putting the 2 legs of one triangle is proportional to the 2 legs of the other triangle. For the next one, for 20, it says that RST, we have SU as the altitude, to RT the hypotenuse. They give us these values, and they want us to know this side. Remember, anytime they mention the word altitude, whatever the reflexive side is, so whatever side they have is the same, that will always go in the bottom of one fraction and the top of the other. Always. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's fine. I mean, it's more, now it's a phone call. It doesn't matter if it's going where you put the numbers. What does matter is, wrong one. What does matter is that one is on the bottom, one's on the top. Okay? Yeah?
So why do we have 2 exits, right?
Because basically, okay, see this triangle right here? I'm going to draw it like this, where this is the 4 and this is the X.
Okay.
And then this triangle, I'm going to draw it like here. where this is the x and this is the 12.
Okay.
So it's like 4 over x equals x over 12, x over 12.
So when you do it, it'll be like 2x or
X squared. So then now, when we cross multiply, we get x squared equals 48.
And you gotta take the square root.
Gotta take the square root, and that's where they got choice A. That's it. So you will probably see an altitude question tomorrow, and you'll probably see one. Excuse me. Hi. You'll probably see one tomorrow. You'll probably see one on the final, on the DA. So tomorrow's the SPG. So just make the main thing to remember is whatever the reflexive side is, one goes on the bottom, one goes on the top, and then you can put the other numbers. Yes. Oh, good call. That's why I got it wrong the first time. So this said find RS, so this is not correct yet. So now that we know that that side is the square root of 48. Good call. Thank you. So it said find RS. We found SU. So now we're going to have to do Pythagorean theorem to get RS. So we're going to have to do 4 squared plus the square root of 48 squared equals x squared. So we've got 16 plus square root of 48 times the square root of 48 is just plain 48. Add these up, you get 64. Take the square root, and that's where you get 8. Well done. Good catch, Shamit. Me either. So let's just catch that piece. Well done. Next, 21, right triangle is shown. Okay, we have to remember this. There are 3 questions tomorrow. Yep, there are 3 questions tomorrow, according to the blueprint, that are about the relationship between sine and cosine. So as a reminder, whenever you have the sine of 1, in this case, they gave you that little fishy thing, and the cosine of another, they will always equal. So whether it's sine A equals cos B, and then also remember that those 2 angles will always be 90 degrees. So here how it says the cosine of this one is 5 over 3. What's the sine of the other? 5 over 13. I'm just giving you examples. And A plus B equals 90 because this is a right triangle. So these 2 have to be 90. No. A.
Sine A, this at the top.
Yep. Okay. So here, the other way you could have done it is how they said cosine of this. I don't even know what that Greek letter is. Okay, so we know that this is the adjacent, this is the opposite, this is the hypotenuse. So because they gave you the 5 and 13, you can just plug that in, and then you also can then switch it and get 5 over 13 that way. It's easier just to remember that they're equal. The sine of 1 equals the cos of the other. That's just how it works. The sine of 1 equals the cos of another.
It's what? Okay, so I have a question.
Yeah?
So could you just do this? So because you know that cos is adjacent over height.
Right.
So could you just label your adjacent and your
Yep.
hypotenuse and then do Pythagorean theorem?
Yep.
And then add to that you
Yep, that would give 12 for that side.
yeah, and then you put the
Yep, definitely can do that too. In the accompanying diagram, 3 more. Then we're done for today. In the accompanying diagram, HK bisects IL. So that means that this line and this line are the same. Angle H and angle K is congruent. What is the most direct method of proof that could be used to prove that the 2 triangles are congruent? Excellent. Angle, angle, side. How'd you do that one? Yep. The vertical angles in the middle. That it makes it the most direct. Excellent. 2 more and then we're good. In the accompanying diagram, right triangle ABC. AB is the hypotenuse. And it gives you AC is 3 BC is 4, and AB is 5. Which of the following is equal to sine B? Again, you can remember from the last page that sine B equals cosine A. So the answer is A. But you also could have just figured it out. Well, sine B, here's B. B is opposite. Sine is SOH, right? So sine of B equals 3/5. So that's what we're trying to get. So then when we go down the line, cosine of A, well, here's A. That means this is my hypotenuse, this is my opposite, this is my adjacent. So cos A would give you 3/5. So both would give you the correct answer. Good morning. Thank you. Oh, cute. Thank you. Okay, what is the volume of a sphere in terms of pi? I definitely put this one on here to make sure that you check the answer choices. If it says pi, it means pi. Yep. Excellent. 4 times pi times the radius cubed divided by 3. Don't forget that in this case, they gave you the radius. They won't always give you the radius. Sometimes they'll give you the diameter and not the radius. So we've got, nope. Oh, yes, you would divide the diameter by 2 to get the radius. Excellent.
Wait, what does the N stand for?
This is a pi. It just didn't print out right.
Okay, I was like, I didn't remember that one.
Yep. So then we've got our 6 cubed. Because all of these are in terms of pi, we're not typing pi in the calculator.
It's 288 pi, right?
So I get 288 pi, yep. So because the pi is in the answer choice, we don't type pi in the calculator. We do all the other math.
All right, and that's it.
That
That's
is
a wrap, y'all.